Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to today's daily antidote of song. So glad to see so many folks popping into the room on another Monday here in the daily antidote of song. So we'll just begin by saying to anybody who's new in this room or on the live stream, Daily Antidote of Song is one sing-along song every day at noon Eastern, free, accessible to everyone. And you don't even need to know how to sing, because you can just be in your own little square doing what you do and practicing your very best new song voice. And so we welcome everybody into this space and hope that lots of folks will continue to join us in these upcoming months ahead. We've got a lot of really neat stuff coming up. So I'm going to welcome everybody to day 1541. Thanks to Carolyn for a cue card there. And I can't believe we've been doing this for this many days. And I'm going to say hello to everybody out there on the live stream. Hello to all the folks who are joining us from YouTube, and hello to the folks that are coming in on Facebook Live. Glad you've all joined us today. And hello, of course, to everybody in this room, and a special hello to Namvula coming in from Oxford, UK, hosting with us today for the first time. So let's all give Namvula lots of cheers of support. And to Aileen Vance coming in from Santa Cruz, California, regular song leader and host in this space. And we're glad that Aileen is with us today. And let's say hello to all the folks in the room. So I see Deli coming in from Maryland. I see Athena in Brooklyn. Hello to Becky in Vancouver, Aloysius in Massachusetts, Linda on Orcas Island, Kathy in Colorado, Trish in Victoria. That's Arlene coming in from Berkeley, California, and Susan in Cincinnati, Hoda in British Columbia, Nancy in Washington State, Caroline in DC, Kevin Ennis coming in from New Hampshire, also reminding us that we're at day 1,541 ridiculous days. Carolyn in Boise, Idaho, Sue Miller coming in from Seattle, Sarah in Texas, Bob in Albany, Ruth coming in from Birmingham, UK, Gary in Massachusetts, Donna in Vermont, Sarah in Connecticut, Kay in Texas. Let's see who's on page 2. Let's see, Storm in Massachusetts, Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland, who I got to see last night in person, Annette in California, Karen in Oregon, Carol in Connecticut, Bryn, thank you so much for being with us today and running our tech, coming in from Vermont, Cricket in Maryland, Lynn coming in from Vermont, Nancy popping in right now from Vermont, and still more folks joining. If I've missed you on the hello end of things, I will get you on the goodbye end of things. And before I turn it over to Namvula, I just want to say, it's been a really big week here in the Daily Antidote of Song. We had 2 events live here in the DMV area that I was working on, both of which we streamed/recorded. And if you are interested in seeing either our fabulously successful, amazing fundraiser with Reggie Harris and Greg Greenway doing their Deeper Than the Skin, a musical presentation on race, or if you are interested in seeing last night's Sonia Cohen-Kramer CD release party concert with Liz Mitchell and Daniel Littleton and Dan and Claudia Zanes, please stay after today. We're going to tell you how to find the links. We want to make them available to folks still as part of our fundraiser. So we'd love donations to folks if they're able to donate and watch it. But in keeping with our Daily Antidote spirit, it will be available whether you are able to donate or not. So stay after today. We'll tell you more about it. We'll tell you how to get on our e-news so you can find out details. And I am now going to take a deep breath, and let's actually welcome Namvula and Aileen. All right, Namvula, thank you so much. You are up.
Thank you, Joe, and hello, everyone. Some of you I will have met previously, leading a couple of songs, but it is my real pleasure to be hosting today's Daily Antidote of Song, day 1541. That is a big, big, big number. I think that's more than my child has been alive, my second child, perhaps. Aileen, it is such a pleasure to host you today. We really look forward to singing with you. Aileen Vance, as many of you will know, is a singer-songwriter, choral director, and community song leader activist from Santa Cruz, California, where the sun is currently shining. Her songs have been performed by many artists such as Pete Seeger, Pat Humphries, and Susie Burke. She's inspired by writing and singing songs about ordinary people and also about the compassion for other beings on the earth. Welcome, Aileen. And let's all welcome you back to this space, Daily Antidote of Song. We're excited to hear the song that you have to share with us today, and we'll speak more about it afterwards, but handing over the floor and the mic to you.
Thank you so much, Namvula. And this is Namvula's first time hosting the Daily Antidote. I'm so grateful that you're here, and so grateful that there are people joining us now from all over the world, no matter what time zone you're in. This Daily Antidote happens at 5 o'clock or at 9 o'clock or at 12 or all the other time zones around that. So thank you so much, everyone. Good morning. Let's all take a deep breath and just let it out. And I'll sing this chorus for you. This song actually does start with the chorus every single time. So I'll sing the chorus for you. It should be in the chat. And thank you to Bryn, who's also first time tech, doing her tech. So thank you so much for that. And the chorus is, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Okay, so let's all do that together. I'll sing it for you once, and then we'll all sing it together, and then we'll sing the song. I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Let's try that all together. I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. To the water's edge and sit on river stones as the water rushes over them into the pool below. I throw the smallest stone I find, and then I hear this song. By the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Well, I know it's not a big thing, throwing pebbles into water, and no lightning flashes as I see the circles ripple out there, but it reminds me that the smallest act can echo far beyond his call. So by the grace of the Spirit, I will return to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold, but by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall.
Thank you so much, Aileen, for that beautiful, beautiful song. Let's throw our hands up again to say a beautiful thank you from us all.
Thank you.
Such beautiful and touching lyrics, and so, so very alive. I thought the lyrics were so alive. Um, could you speak a little bit more about the song to us?
Yeah, so that's my song that I think of as a church song. That's my church. Water, trees, forest path, the ocean, walking along the beach. And it's also it's a song of renewal and redemption, the idea of beginning again, and just that reminder that if you, so there's the verse at the end where it talks about there's no lightning flashes. When you throw a stone into a pond, you can see those ripples. And I've always loved that ever since I was a kid. I used to love to throw rocks into water and just watch the water ripple out. And I heard someone say one time, I think it's a quote from Gandhi, but I'm not sure. It's whatever you do might seem insignificant, but it is most important that you do it. Mm. And I just love that idea that, we don't, a lot of times people talk about their spiritual renewal as being something where they got struck by lightning or they had this big epiphany. And I like to think of renewal and just, being able to come out of a despair or feeling dejected or not having hope. I like to feel that it's not something that has to happen like a big earthquake to you. Mm-hmm. It's something that can happen every day, or it can happen every hour, or it can happen every minute. And I just love that idea of, it's available to all of us rather than just to a few. And so that was my idea of trying to write a song that would be a hymn, but my kind of hymn. Mm-hmm. So.
And it is hymnic. It has that hymnic quality to it. But I think, the reminder of the small, and it reminds me a lot about Mary Oliver's writings. How she references, like, she's so deeply within nature, but also within the God that is nature. And the smallness, and yet the insignificance, but the deep significance of what can be seen as so small and insignificant. So that was one thing that really struck me. And then the second thing that really struck me as well was this idea about resurrection and rejuvenation. And it made me think of wintering, and how the trees winter and how everything seems to die, but there's all these small things and essential things happening beneath the earth. And then there's this sudden blooming. But actually, I was reading this piece of work that someone who, I can't remember the author's name now, who was talking about spring and how we're all in awe of spring because there's this kind of sudden blooming. But actually, there's so many currents that happen below and underneath through what seems to be a wintering and what seems to be death. But then you have, that death allows for things to bloom and to blossom. So those are the two things that struck me as I listened to you speak and I listened to you sing.
How beautiful. That's so, I love that idea that you just mentioned of the wintering. I've never even heard that word before, but I love that word, the wintering, because it's a process, isn't it? It isn't just, one thing and then another thing. It's that layer of preparation and the whole cycle of the leaves falling off the trees and the mulch in the ground and then the blooms coming up out of freezing. Some flowers can't bloom unless they have freezing roots during the winter. Fruit can't bloom without freezing roots. So that's so beautiful to hear. I love hearing that. It made me think about the song differently, which is really nice. And I also I wanted to invite people who are here today. By the way, 1541. That is absolutely amazing. And the idea that people are coming into this room. I mean, Carolyn, you're doing the sign at 1541. You're doing that sign every day. That's amazing. But I just, it's just that is a kind of renewal. What you all are doing together in this room, what you do when you come together to sing every day, to me seems a part of this, what we're talking about, this renewal. But I really wanted to invite everyone here to think of a place that's like what I feel when I go. I have a particular waterfall in mind. It happens to be my friend Sunny's waterfall where she lives. There's a little waterfall that comes down the back of her land, and the water comes down, cascades down these rocks. It's a little waterfall. It's not even a big one. It's not Niagara Falls or Victoria Falls or anything. It's just a little, cascade. And then there's a pool at the bottom, a beautiful pool. And I had that waterfall in mind when I wrote this song, but maybe you have a special place that you go to for renewal, and it doesn't have to be in nature. Maybe it's with other people. Maybe it's who you meet at 5 o'clock once a week, or just that idea that you take a moment and take that in, what you do for yourself to renew your energy, so that you can go back out into this world and do the work that we're all doing to try and hold this all together, this fragile place that we live. And just take a moment to do that, maybe breathe that in and think of that.
And then let it ripple out.
Let it ripple
out. Thank you. That's so, so beautiful. I'm slightly aware, as you said when we were chatting before, about how time kind of evaporates, and I could go on and on talking about just certain elements of your song. And, I think what you've left us with in this invitation to just be cognizant and really notice what it is that feeds our soul, and that kind of waters our wells and keeps us loving and alive is a really beautiful invitation.
And actually that made me think of something. So I'm going to turn the tables on you, Namvula. And because I'm so curious, this is the first time I've met Namvula, and she is in Oxford, UK. So she's 8 or 9 hours away from where I am. And we've never met before, but I did go on, when I found out you were hosting today, I did go online and look and listen to you singing live. And the song that I listened to was a song you talked about how when you were a child, you listened to your grandmother speak to you and tell you a story. And you couldn't understand the words, but you knew that the story was carrying you and was coming through you and being carried on. And I wonder if you feel that that is a part of this process that we're talking about, to carry on the spirit of something that was handed to you. Can you just talk about that for a few minutes?
Yeah, I could probably talk about it for many hours.
So I will host you sometime, and we'll do that.
Host me sometimes, and we'll talk about it a lot. But I guess the most succinct answer that I can give, I'm looking at the tapestry that's behind you, and I think the most succinct answer that I can give is that I feel that we are like the tapestry that is behind you, but like we are one thread of that tapestry, and that we cannot exist as one thread, that we are threaded and wound and interwoven with our past, with our present, with the people who are around us, with the people who may pass through our lives and just offer us a smile, or pass through our lives and not be particularly kind to us, but remind us how important kindness is, and all kinds of things that are woven into our existences, and all kinds of people, and that we cannot exist, we do not exist, and we cannot exist alone. And I think what is behind you probably is the shortest answer I can give. If I was Rumi, I'd probably have a very eloquent 3-line poem to summarize that, but I'm not Rumi. There we go.
That's beautiful to think. And actually, I don't know if everyone can see. So there is a tapestry behind me. It's always behind me whenever I'm on Daily Antidote, a song, or any other virtual performance, and it is a quilt, a small quilt that a local artist here in Santa Cruz, Gabi Litsky, made for me. And it's a big rose blossom, a rose flower, and in the middle of the rose are pieces of bread. And then it says at the top, we want bread, but we want roses too. So and then there's a little loaf of bread at the top. You can see that. So that idea that there's a tapestry where we need both the roses and the bread of life is also really important. And I love that you mentioned one piece of the tapestry, that one little thread, to be humbled by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and where can we get more of your bread and roses? Do you have any other petals strewing the path ahead of you that we should be aware of? Any other projects that you're involved in that you'd like to speak about or make us aware of?
Well, right now I'm sort of on vacation for just a few weeks, but I normally I lead monthly community singing. It starts up again in September here in Santa Cruz on Saturday afternoons, and I also conduct the Santa Cruz Peace Chorale, which, if you're listening from somewhere locally, is a non-auditioned mixed voice community chorus that sings out for peace and justice. And I've been doing that for almost 25 years. It's a really amazing group of community activists who believe in carrying the message through song. So I'm doing that, and I just got through doing a wonderful project with our friends Emma's Revolution and Jager and Reed, the duo Jager and Reed. We did a Sing Out for Pete's Sake concert performance and a few other little ventures off in Radioland, singing the songs of Pete Seeger and trying to get people to recognize that when you go to a concert like that, it's not just a performance of the performer doing it to you. The audience is a part of the singing. The audience is a part of the performance. And so we led songs that Pete Seeger taught to us. And it's again that idea of being a thread, rather, a piece of the whole, rather than just thinking of yourself as being the one there on the stage.
I love the way you. Sorry to interrupt.
I was going to say, I know Joe. Joe, you may want to. Do you want to mention to people that after we sing the song again, they can stay around to find out how they can get access to the benefit Deeper Than the Skin?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll say it again because there are some new folks in the room and potentially also new folks online. But if folks want to stay after, and so that for folks out on the live stream, you're welcome to jump in the room with us to hear more about it, or sign up for our e-news to hear more about it. But the two events in question, one is Deeper Than the Skin, the fundraiser that we did with Reggie Harris and Greg Greenway. And the other one, it's just so beautifully connected that you're talking about Pete Seeger right now, because the other one was a CD release, a posthumous CD release of Sonia Cohen Kramer, who is Pete Seeger's niece, and he sings on her CD with her, actually from an event at the Library of Congress that I was involved in I guess that was actually like 20 years ago. So it's like, I love, talk about the thread, like the thread of all this coming together in this conversation is beautiful. So yeah, I invite everyone to stay after, please, because we are not only gonna chat about how to get access to those two links, but also yesterday was Melanie DeMore's birthday. So can we all just do a big happy birthday to Melanie? There you go. That was a big happy birthday to Melanie. I love it. And we're gonna stick around afterwards and take some pictures for Melanie. So please feel free to stay for that too. All right, and so I'm gonna turn it back to Namvula. Aileen, I don't know if you want to say anything more or just sing. So thank you so much for bringing me in.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, Aileen, I don't know if you want to say it. I mean, you've been talking about community and revolution and peace and justice and all words that kind of feel very necessary all the time, but perhaps especially now. And I don't know if there's anything before you sing the song through again for us that you've been thinking about particularly deeply while you're on vacation and have lots of space and time to think, or perhaps not.
Well, I would say something that my friend Sandy Apatow, who also is a host and performer in this space many times, said recently, which is we need to just keep bringing the word peace into the room. We really need peace right now. And take care of yourselves and continue to advocate for that and keep bringing the word peace into the room. Peace and justice for all. So I would say that. And then I want to I'm going to sing the song again, and now I know that you'll all be singing along on the entire song. So you have the words there. I want to thank Bryn for doing the tech today, and Namvula, we're gonna turn the tables again. I want to host you so I can hear you sing. So we'll make that happen.
For
You're
sure.
you're on WhatsApp, right? So I can find you, and then we'll
I
talk
am.
more, because I would love to find a time when I can come back and host you, and we can talk some more about all this. That would be great. Thank you so much to everyone. And stay on if you'd like to find out more about the Deeper Than the Skin live stream, and how you can access that and continue to support Daily Antidote of Song, bringing you a little song medicine, one song at a time, all together, every single day. It's just amazing what's been happening in this space. So thank you, and here we go. So we're going to all sing together. And it does start with a chorus. I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold. But by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. To the water's edge and sit on the river stones as the water rushes over them into the pool below. I throw the smallest stone I find, instead I hear this song. By the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold. But by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Well, I know it's not a big thing, throwing pebbles into water, but no lightning flashes as I see the circles ripple out there. But it reminds me that the smallest act can echo far beyond its call. So by the grace of the Spirit, I will return to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold. But by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall. I fell down into despair, but got back up to fool them all. I never thought I'd feel again this water clear and cold. But by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, by the grace of the Spirit, I have returned to the waterfall. Oh, I am resurrected. I have returned to the waterfall.
So beautiful, and so beautiful singing it again with the invitation that you had left us with about thinking of the places and spaces and people that resurrect us.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Aileen.
much. It's so amazing every single time. I know I say this, but it's so amazing to see you all singing. And I always wish I could hear all of your voices. It's so beautiful the way you have this set up where you can see individual faces for a while, and then you see everyone together in the room. It's so, what a privilege and what a gift. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Aileen, and thank you once again, Joe. Stick around. Joe's going to speak a bit more, but a big, big heartfelt thanks to you, Aileen, and thank you for the conversation. It felt like we could have carried on. I just saw a message from Joe saying, don't worry about the time, carry on, but I just saw it now. But I'm glad I didn't see it, because we might still be chatting for another 25 minutes.
I want to get together for coffee with you sometime. Now,
I know, right? Be
Thank
well,
you, everyone.
Thank you, Aileen. Thank you for being here, everybody. And I will hand over to Joe.
Thank you so much. Can we all please give it up to Aileen for an incredible song today, and to Namvula for amazing first time hosting. Boy, that conversation was, I don't know, an incredible way to start the week. Super inspiring, really lifted me up, and I'm really grateful to both of you. And I do invite everyone in the room to stick afterwards for more info, and also for happy birthday pictures for Melanie. And so Aileen and Namvula, if you're also able to stay, that would be great. Help me say goodbye to everybody out there on the live stream. Thank you folks watching from YouTube and from Facebook Live. And invitation to all of you out there on the live stream to pop into the room right now. If you'd like some more info, you can just go to the Daily Antidote of Song website and click on Join Us in the virtual room, and here we will be. So thank you to Namvula coming in from Oxford, UK, again for fabulous hosting. Aileen Vance coming in from Santa Cruz, California. Arlene in Berkeley, Athena in Brooklyn, Hoda in British Columbia, Susan in Cincinnati, Caroline in DC, Becky in Vancouver, Linda on Marcus Island. Oh, wait a minute. I'm totally lost for a minute. Okay, sorry. Kathy in Colorado. I just had a total brain moment. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Bryn, thank you again for running tech for us out of Vermont. Annette in California. Carolyn in Boise, Idaho. Sue in Seattle. Ann in Nashville. Sarah in Texas. Cliff in Vermont. Mabel and some bears in Massachusetts. Cricket in Maryland. Sandy coming in from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Kat in Vermont. Bob in Albany. Kevin Ennis coming in from New Hampshire. Nancy in Vermont, Trish in Victoria, Fred in Silver Spring, Aloysius in Massachusetts. All right, that's a tongue twister. Aloysius in Massachusetts. Linda in Concord, Mass. Bob in Massachusetts. Adele in Maryland. My brain is moving slowly today. Diane also in Mass. Nice to see you there, Diane. Gary in Mass. Karen in Oregon. Storm in Massachusetts. That's a lot of Massachusettses all in a row. Carol in Connecticut, Nancy in Washington State. There's a curly top, Willard over there, coming in from Vermont. Nice to see you. Ann in Silver Spring, Susan from Tacoma Park, Lynn in Connecticut. Think we got everybody in here. Thanks again, everybody out there on the live stream. See you all when? Tomorrow, right here on the Daily Antidote. Ciao.